Hey everyone, welcome back to part 5 of the Batwing fairing conversion on my '04 Harley Road King. In the last video, we went in and mounted the fairing to the bike in a mock-up kind of state, got everything sitting where it needs to be, had to do some alterations to the brackets in order to get everything to fit correctly, but I am quite confident that everything is going to fit where it needs to be. I did notice something after I was done filming that whole segment about these bars. Originally, I had planned on running the wire externally on the bars, so everything on the outside. However, I started, just kind of mocking things up, and when I did, I realized that, this is a lot thicker here than the original, the original bar, and it doesn't really leave me with a whole lot of room for the wiring harness to exit underneath there. So I'm guessing that these bars were meant to run the wires internally. Not my original plan, however, things change, so you just got to learn to adapt. So it looks like I will now be running the wiring on the inside of the bars. Not a big deal. I'm kind of up for the challenge, and I think it'll leave it with a lot cleaner of a look once everything is all done. So that's where we're at now. So in anticipation of stretching these wires, or lengthening them, I should say, I did hit up my local Home Depot. I was able to find quite a few different colors of wire, which is good. I was actually able to match up a good chunk of it. So there's a couple of white ones in there that I'm a little bit worried about. I was only able to find just solid white, and some of these have some stripes or whatever. So, but I will have to do a little bit of get a little creative there. Make sure I do some good labeling as I'm lengthening these. It looks as if I'm going to have to lengthen these about 15 inches from end to end in order to get them to fit. I also picked up some heat shrink. I did pick up a four pin connector, trailer connector. I did this on the other bike. It worked out really, really well. More on this later, but the whole idea behind this is I'm going to run these up by the neck, and this is what's actually going to carry the power back to the battery on the bike. The good part about this is you have a male and a female, and if you park the bike during the winter time or whatever, and you don't have access to a tender to have it on there all the time, you don't have to worry about the radio draining your battery down, because there is that constant memory wire that's always hooked up. Also, if you need to take the fairing off of the bike, this allows you to unhook the wiring relatively quickly, be able to remove that fairing from the bike. So this worked out good on my other one, and should work out pretty good for this one, hopefully. I also went ahead and replaced these bushings. So these bushings are, they've seen better days. They're pretty chewed up. I did order a set off of Amazon. I thought this was going to be a good deal. I got them. It was, I think, like $18 for all 4 of them. Then they came in, and I realized really quickly that they are hard plastic. They are not like the originals. So the originals would be steel covered in like a rubber coating, rubber covered steel. These are hard plastic, nylon. So these are not going to work. They're not even the correct size. So if you do plan on ever buying these and you start looking at Amazon or eBay to buy replacements, I would say don't even bother because they're not going to be correct. I went down to the Harley dealership down the street from my house, and I picked up the correct ones. In retrospect, I probably should have done that from the very, very beginning. I also got my brackets taken care of. So if you remember in the last video, I could have sworn these things were aluminum. I really, really thought they were. They were super lightweight, and I couldn't figure out, for the life of me, why when I went to go cut the ends off, did I start seeing sparks? It was only then that I realized I was dealing with stainless steel. Quite embarrassed, actually, but, it's all good now. So I have a buddy who works at a coating company, and he actually took them in and put a DLC coating on them, so they are now flat black. I think they will look a lot better. They'll kind of hide in the background. You won't really even see them, and they should play nicer off the chrome than the stainless steel did. I wasn't a real big fan of. I don't really care for the look of stainless steel all that much. That was the reason why I was hoping to polish them and make them look nice and bright like chrome, but obviously that wasn't going to happen. So my buddy hooked me up on that, so those should look really, really nice. And finally, I got my cables and my brake line kit. So these just actually came in today. I ordered the cables from Hill Country Custom Cycle, and they are Motion Pro parts. So they are a stainless steel with the coating on there. They're really heavy duty, super nice looking parts. They weren't all that expensive. I think I have maybe between the three, I think I'm into it for just under 300 bucks. And then I also got the brake line kit, which came straight from Drag Specialties. And these are all 6 inches over stock. So I did a lot of looking around on forums and just kind of checking threads and everything. And for the most part, everybody that says that are running these bars say that 6 inches over stock will be sufficient length in order to do that. I'm certainly hoping that's the case, because if not, I'm going to be doing a lot of returning. But hopefully these work. All right, so next step is going to be to get everything cleaned up here, get set up on the bench, and I think I'm going to start cutting into these to lengthen these wires. I did go ahead and try to watch some videos on YouTube and find out some different stuff about, from people who have done a lot of this. I think where I want to make my cuts are going to be, I want to lose them in the bar. So I really don't want to have to deal with too many cuts, but I think I'm going to try to have my cut somewhere under here. So the splice should be somewhere in this neighborhood. Obviously I'll have to do bring some extra wiring out so that I can then cut that and do this. I've never done this before, so this is going to be uncharted territory for me. However, I feel relatively comfortable. I think this should work out pretty good. So all right, I'm gonna get everything set up and start cutting into these wires. Okay, so I have these things laid out. I got them cut, or I should say I got them marked where I think I'm gonna need to cut these. Like I said, I'm gonna lose them like halfway down the bar. So goal is to just cut these. I'm gonna cut the jacket back a little bit. Once I do that, I'm gonna expose the wires, strip the wires down, slip some heat shrink in there, solder them together, extend them to 15, and then I'm going to try to run them through the bar and then out to the other side. Once I get them to the other side, then I'm going to clip them and try to get them wired into the existing pigtail that's already there. Hopefully this goes smoothly. We shall find out. All right, well, I'm quickly learning. It's been a little while since I did any soldering. First one's on, it's attached and heat shrunk into place. Looks okay. I mean, this will be fine. I plan on wrapping everything heavily with electrical tape. So I'm going to turn it into like a harness when it's all done. There won't be any, wires like this that are bare running through the frame like this. This is, it'd be just a recipe for chafing down the road and causing, wires to start breaking through or whatever. So, all right, I'm going to keep going on this. I'll get the rest of these done and show you the finished product. And here's the finished product. So I have all of my wires extended. I actually went over what I needed. I said I only needed 15 inches. I made these like 17 and a half. I'd rather have too much than too little. Lord knows I have enough wire, so I can always cut them shorter. So hopefully I didn't, err on the side of too short, but this seems correct. So hopefully we're good. Keep in mind, I still have the other end of this connector to attach to it anyway, so that's going to give it another, 4 or 5 inches there. I don't know if you noticed during the time lapse, but I was jotting down notes here, so just don't want to get to the other end and start putting these wires on and going, geez, what color was that blue one? I want to make sure that, obviously, blue to blue, yellow to yellow, orange with the white stripe. The closest thing I had was red, and white to white. Yellow with the black stripe, I just opted to the side of the black, and then the white with the purple stripe, I just went with green. So, all right, I'm going to turn these things into a harness and probably move on to the second one, do the other side, and then work on muscling these things through the bars. Okay, harness number one, all complete. Get on to the next one, and I'll get back to you when I got it all finished. Okay, so both harnesses are now complete. They've all been encased in tape so that they should be well protected inside the bars. I did go to my local hardware store, picked up some trimmer line. So I was reading on some threads about people and how they've run this stuff through the bars, and I've heard everything from using a vacuum cleaner and some string to a blowgun and compressed air to hanging weights off of string and all kinds of different stuff. But the one that kind of made the most sense to me was someone said to take string for a string trimmer and just kind of run it through the bars, get it to the other end, because it's very flexible and it will bend with the contour. Once you get it through the other end, obviously you just tape your harness to the string trimmer end and kind of work it through. Obviously, once this exits the bottom of the bar, I'll be able to kind of do a push and pull kind of thing. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to somehow grease these up a little bit so they slide a little bit better. I don't know. I just don't want to make a huge mess. But I suppose once they're in the bar, it really doesn't matter if they have some grease on them or whatever. But anyway, I'm going to start trying to run this string trimmer line through the bars, get that all into place, and then go from there. Give it a shot. Okay, so this is proving to be a little bit more difficult than I originally anticipated. I started off running the string through the top here. I made it around this corner, no problem. But by the time I got down to here, it was really hard to get it to turn and actually manipulate it around that turn. And because of the fact that there's so much wire already down in here, it makes your pushing power very limited. So I started coming in from this side, made it around this corner, no problem. But obviously when I get to here, it wants to go straight up and doesn't want to turn. So I have a grabby tool that I'm going to come in from the end. I already tried doing it. I think if I just kind of mess around with it a little bit longer, should be able to get it. So I'm going to go concentrate on that. And once I got it run, I'll attach it here and try to pull these wires through. And success. All right, got it up through there. Pulled it out the other end here. I got it attached to the harness. I ran it down to about here and taped it all in there so it's got a really good contact area. I was looking around. I don't really want to put grease in there per se, so I think I'm going to go, because the grease would just make a total mess. I'm going to go with some fluid film. I'll put a little in there, just spray some in the bars, spray it on the cable. Maybe that'll give it enough lubrication properties that it'll make it, easy to get around this. I'm not even so much worried about this here. It's up in here, especially when I get to the other end here where a lot of the soldering is. That's not exactly flexible. I mean, it is to a certain extent, and it's probably like maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches long. So there's a very short window of bendability there. So, all right, I'm gonna lube this thing up and try to see if I can't get it to go through. Wow, that worked slick. No pun intended. That grease really helped that stuff slide right through there. So If anybody's doing this, I would definitely recommend that as a method. That worked really, really well. I barely had to fight with that at all. I was super worried about where I had soldered the connectors and everything in, or the connections, I should say. And no, everything made it around the corner here pretty easy and out the other side. Did make a huge mess out of everything, but you know, grease can be wiped up or whatever, so that's not a big deal. I'd much rather have them through there and have a little bit of a mess to clean up than be fighting with these things for hours. So, all right, well, on to the next one. All right, so they're both in. I got the switches just kind of hanging there just so they're not dangling. I got both my wires coming out the end. I was able to salvage some of the old jacket, slide it up in there, so it goes to about here on both sides, so a little extra protection there. This side did fight me a little bit. It was a little tough going around this corner here, but I did get it in. My goal is to get these things soldered back into place and then do some very quick checking to make sure that all functions do work, because it's going to be a problem if they don't. So fingers crossed on that one. I'm going to get ready and start soldering the stuff back in. And it's complete. Got everything plugged back in. I went around everything with electrical tape. I was going to try to use the insulation, the jacket that came off the pieces that I cut. However, it was a little too thin to make it over the areas that I had soldered and everything. So once you put all those wires together, they're a little thicker than they were originally. So that was a no-go. It's okay though. This I think this will be fine. It's all hidden underneath the nacelle anyway, so we should be good to go. Double check to make sure everything is working. Let's see here. We got blinker is working. Let's see. Start. Yep, that's working. Left side. We have blinker. We have horn. I don't have the light hooked up right now, but I'm assuming if everything else is working, then that must be working too. And that's a really good feeling. All right, so this is gonna wrap this up. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, if you guys are liking this, do me a favor, you know, like the video, subscribe would be great, and hit the bell for notifications. All right, I'll see you on the next one, where I'm going to install the clutch cable, as well as the brake line and throttle cables for this thing, and that should tie up the front end. And then we're going to get into doing some of the mock-up for the stereo and amplifier and all that other good stuff. All right, have a good one, guys. Catch you later.